The second of two identical vessels, Viking Cruises' Viking Polaris followed the 2022 built Viking Octantis. Both of these ships are Polar Class 6 certified and were designed to clear the locks of the St. Lawrence Seaway, making them the largest cruise ships to venture into the Great Lakes. I've just returned from a 2-week voyage from Fort Lauderdale to Toronto and will follow with a full deck top to bottom tour soon. In the meantime, here are some of my first impressions of this stunning ship.
Welcome to the living room on Viking Polaris. This is basically the heart of the ship. This is a multifunctional room. It's a library of especially curated books that are about exploration, biography, the places the ship visits. And here is a central screen where they do various presentations as well. And one of my very favorite things is the espresso bar, because I have to come in here and get a freshly brewed cappuccino at least twice a day. And they're real cappuccinos, another one of the great Viking included. So here we go. Can we get 2 cappuccinos, please? One regular and one double shot soy, if that's okay. Super cool. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So he's going to make our cappuccinos, and we're going to go have a seat. We're going to get caffeinated, and now as we're getting ourselves situated to drink our cappuccino, might pan over to the books here, and you can see this collection. This is just a section of the books that they carry on the ship. Really phenomenal, heady, interesting reading material. Oh, excellent. Thank you. Yes. Great. Thanks so kindly. I think he has his sugar with him. He's got the brown. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Cheers, everyone. So now that we've had our cappuccino break, let's see the rest of the living room. For instance, tonight at 7:30, there's going to be a trivia quiz. And trivia quizzes on Viking ships, if you don't know, are very, very popular. So that will be a full house, I promise. Let's come up, let's go aft this way on the starboard side. Nice are all these intimate seating alcoves, so you get a different vibe in each of the sections. And Viking is very big on these vapor flame fireplaces, which have a great effect when you're relaxing. These tables are great for card games and chess games. And this is another great game spot. And here we have Mahjong. And there's a very spirited game of Scrabble going on. And then as we continue back here, we get to the World Cafe. But I'm going to avoid that right now because it's still in the midst of lunch. So we'll come back to the World Cafe, and let's turn around, Mike, and we're going to go forward now to what's my favorite room on the ship. Follow me. So here's another perspective of the living room. On this particular cruise, jigsaws have been very popular. There's one downstairs with 5,000 pieces that was completed yesterday. Okay, we're now exiting the living room, going forward to the Explorer's Lounge. Double deck observation lounge. It's stunning, but come and see for yourself. This is the aft corner, and this is the deck 5 level of the Explorer's Lounge. This is the upstairs portion. I absolutely love this seating area. This is one of my favorite places to go. Love these petrified wood tables, very NS Savannah. If you guys know about the nuclear-powered merchant ship, she was beautiful and she had petrified wood tables. The artwork is stunning. It's chosen by the design team and approved by Tor Hagen, the chairman of Viking. Let's go around And you can see this full-length span of windows with spectacular views, gorgeous seating areas. I think Viking does observation lounges the very best. And what's really nice, you can even see them lit up now, are the various constellations and zodiacs in the ceiling. And at night, it's even more dramatic. And this open area here is directly behind the bar downstairs. So I'm just going to take you over to this. Again, one of my favorite things about Viking is the artwork. This is by Bente Boyesen, and Viking provides on their app an art tour. So you can walk around the ship and learn about each of the art pieces that are on board. Let's go downstairs and see the deck 4 level where the bar is. Come along. Very, very clever globe. It's got Antarctica at the top. Everywhere you look, there's something in honor of explorers and exploration. Okay, let's go into the deck 4 level of explorers. Similar layout as the upstairs level, except it's wider because upstairs you have the outdoor promenades. This goes all the way to the outer edges of the ship. At night, they have a duo performing here at the piano. It's very, very nice. And the forward portion looks out onto a promenade that overlooks the bow. And you can actually go out there and get footage. And it's a great place when you're coming into a new port. You can see where you're going, which is what you can't do on most new ships today. And again, Paps, named for Tor Hagen's father, means father in Norwegian. And then Mike, once you peer up, you can get this nice space that goes up to the upper level. So many nice intimate nooks on this ship, and everything is so tasteful, beautifully designed, functional, and comfortable. Okay, we're now heading down to deck 3, which has a very special space. So follow me. Again, more Antarctic exploration to be enjoyed as you walk through the ship. We're heading forward on the starboard side. Welcome to the shelter on forward deck 3. This is where you come literally to get shelter. If you're standing on the bow and you get too cold from the wind, you can come here and warm up. Behind you, Mike, if you do a full U-turn, there's a map of Antarctica. All right, now follow me this way. Oh, another nice touch, steamer blankets are in here so that you can bundle up. There are cushions and blankets when you need them. Love it, love it, love it. Give me an open bow and I'm a happy person. This is one of my favorite places to stand, especially when we're at sea, because you can look straight down. She's got an X bow, so the bow just goes straight into the ocean. You can see the little bow wave, the bone in her teeth as it were. And then up here, you get a gorgeous view of the superstructure, which is lovely with its curves. It's when you're coming into port, or you're going through a canal, or cruising a scenic area, you can stand out here on the bow. And at sea days, they have naturalists that come out here, and they will look for wildlife, and they'll point out whales, dolphins, seabirds. We're going to go inside to a very, very special place that's down in the ship, in the bow. All right, heave ho. Come on through, my cameraman, Mike. We are on deck 3. We are going down to deck 1. So you guys know what speakeasy bars were, right? During the Prohibition, there were these little hideaways that we would go and get a drink, Hopefully the police wouldn't come and bust you, and they are usually down in someone's basement or in the back of a building. And in a way, you've got the same thing here with the hide. Crazy space, incredible. And they don't tell you about it. You kind of have to discover it. And then during the cruise, they'll have special presentations in here. They'll do like sea shanty stories and things like that. But this is so cool. We are all the way down on deck 1, practically at sea level, coming into a bar with rivets. Well, they're not real rivets, but the door's got rivets, which is very cool. So come on in, and here is the hide. So one of the things the crew members ask you when you first come on the ship is, have you found the hide yet? And I thought they were talking about something that was draped over one of the sofas, and I'm like, oh yeah, they're all over the ship. And then I realized, duh, it's a room. So anyway, come on in. More vapor flames, which is really cool. And then in the evening, they set up a bar on the port side aft, and some of the staff will come down, the naturalists. Like tonight, there's going to be a presentation in here, and they do talks, and they tell stories, and it's just a very cool place to come and literally hide out. Now, if you come over here to these windows, we are just one deck above the sea level here, and it's really cool. When the ship is going through rough waters, you can see the waves splashing up against the windows here. So a very, very cool space. So if you just want to escape, come to a quiet place, this is it. And you can read about explorers and exploration and the places that the ship goes to. We are now in forward port deck 2. I'm going to walk down the alleyway, so come along. Now we're on midships deck 2 on the port side, and we are entering an area called Expedition Central, where the naturalists and scientists will give presentations. As you can see, marine biology, different scientific research, and at some point they're going to release a weather balloon. We almost did it a few days ago, but the internet wasn't working correctly, and they need to have a connection because they do it in sync with all sorts of other people around the world. So hopefully we'll be able to see them launch one of these weather balloons during the rest of this cruise. But again, little desks, and you can talk to the naturalists here. It's very cool. And follow me around, Mike. On the starboard side of deck 2, they've got a refreshment, water, and coffee station, and this is the studio where they'll do things like art classes. If you look over here, down there is deck A, and that's where you board the Zodiacs, and expedition gear is stowed. And then on deck 1, you've got the reception area, and this is basically where you enter the ship most days. And then I love the ceiling here with the birds. If you've been on the ocean ships, this is very reminiscent of the Winter Garden with the crows. Mike already filmed me in the spa the other day because it was empty, and I can't go in there obviously when guests are, enjoying the spa facility. But that would be down this way on deck 2 on the port side. The entire spa section is there. Hey, welcome to the Nordic Spa. This is one of the great things about Viking. On most cruise ships, you've got to pay a premium to use the spa for an hour or a half day, usually $50 up to $100. Here it's included in the fare. And in addition to that, it's one of the nicest spas at sea. This is the entryway where everybody is very kind. And we are going to go into the special part of the spa because nobody's there at the moment. This is the thermal suite. This thalassotherapy pool is incredible. There's buttons you can push on either end to get the water going. The bubbles come out to swim against the current over there. You've got the view of the ocean normally, but right now you've got a view of the terminal in Halifax. This is something that's actually not on the ocean ships, but it's really cool. It's almost like an igloo And you've got the heated loungers here with the fabulous faux fireplace, which has the gas that looks like fire. So now we're going to have a look at a couple of the other areas. Ladies' changing room here. Men's changing room here. But you get lockers, a towel, you get little flip-flops for your feet, and they even have a bathing suit spinner that you can pop your bathing suit in afterwards, so it's mostly dry when you take it back to your cabin. Here's something that's really cool. It's a cold bucket shower. I'm gonna just flip the bucket so you can splash some cold water on yourself if you like, and it gets even better. The Scandinavians, they like both the heat and the cool, right? So this is an experience shower, which is great. It's got a rainforest thing on top, and it's got side jets that come out. My favorite thing, the snow grotto. So after you use the sauna, you can come in here and cool off. You know, Greta Garbo used to go in the snow in Sweden and throw ice on her face, and they say that's what kept her looking so young for so long. The steam room, and you can just feel it coming out. Very, very nice. Woo! Get a nice large sauna. Probably get about 10 people in there if it gets busy. I believe it's pronounced Badestamp, and this is where you can actually sit in a jacuzzi. You enter this way, and I'll let you step in past me, Mike, so you can show that the window is open. So when you're at sea, you can use this nice jacuzzi with the balcony and fresh air. It really is a beautiful spot. And we're talking, this is an expedition ship, and this is just as good as the ones on the ocean ships. So we're gonna head over to the treatment room area, and hopefully one will be open, and if not, at least we can see the waiting room. So this is so beautiful. This is where you wait for your treatment, and look how comfortable and well designed it is. Oh yeah, and here are the various treatment rooms. Now these, of course, you have to pay for, and they have a whole menu of different treatments available. The barbershop or beauty salon right here. And then a fabulous pedicure. And Mike, come on over here. You can get the special ops boat approaching. They put out the special ops boat today. So hopefully we'll be doing that later this afternoon. And then the pedicure. Here is the gym. 2 elliptical machines. Treadmills. All with a great view of the sea. Been doing this elliptical every day, 500 calories, 2 cookies, and over here are the various techno gym weight machines, and voila, this is where you do yoga, this is where you stretch, and they do various fitness classes. We got some swells out there. We were supposed to be ashore today, but they canceled it because the winds are blowing 40 miles an hour. So we get an extra day at sea, which actually I kind of like. Anyway, this is deck 4, the midships lobby on deck 4. A just beautiful seating nook where you can sit with the full-length windows and watch the sea. There's one of these on either side. And follow me over here, Mike. These are the 4 elevators that go down to deck A, where you disembark on the tenders and Zodiacs and the special operation boats, and it's really good. They're large elevators, and there's 4 of them, so you don't have to wait forever to get them. And then right here, this is something that started on the river ships, the longboats. These are rock gardens that are based on the Finsa of Norway, and they're very cool, beautifully created. Each one is slightly different, and you'll find these in various parts of the ship, especially on the central staircase. And then over here is the other side, the port side. This is a beautiful piece by Thomas Widerberg, a Norwegian painter. His father, Franz Widerberg, was also a painter, and for those of you who are familiar with the Island Princess, her purser's lobby had a beautiful set of glass panels called Wind and Light and Movement by Franz Widerberg, which I rescued from the shipbreakers in Alang, and some of it is now in our home. So this is the Viking app where you can tune in with your ear pods and do the art tour. So each one is numbered, each one of the paintings. And this is the midships deck 3 lobby, and this large table here is where they do jigsaw puzzles. They completed one yesterday that I believe was 4,000 or 5,000 pieces. Thanks, Mike. So anyway, in this lobby, on the port side, there's actually a shop where they sell Nordic items and Viking logo wear and all of that kind of stuff, which is very cool. And across the way is the travel consultant where you can book your future Viking cruise. So right now we're on midships deck 1, and another very cool thing today, since we have this extra day at sea, Viking's opening up the hangar area so we can do self-guided tours. So I'll show you what they've got. It's very busy down here in the hangar, as most of the guests have decided to come and tour because we again have an unannounced day at sea thanks to very high winds. We can see here are some of the kayaks. There are 10 kayaks available, and this is one of the shell doors that open up where they can launch the equipment. And then if we pan around, there's actually 20 Zodiacs, but they only use about 10 or 11 for the guests' excursions because they have to keep the others available in case of emergency. These are the Zodiacs. Again, there's 10 to 11 that are used for the guests' excursions. And behind me are the special ops boats. There's 2 of them. They carry 12 guests each. Come on up here, Mike. These things are launched from the stern. There's a shell door that opens on the stern. And again, these carry 12 guests each, and they can go up to 40 knots, which is in the 50-mile-an-hour range. Very, very cool. That's the science lab up there. We are heading back. I think we can actually take a close look at one of the special ops boats, the aft one. So come on up this way. Looks like they've got spare outboard motors here for the Zodiacs. There's a bunch of gear here. Looks like the boots for the Antarctica, and what they're going to be doing next year are Arctic expeditions. And look at the special ops boat. Cool. So welcome aboard the special ops boat. We did this in Halifax, zoomed all around the harbor and went into a nice little cove where they had beautiful private homes. You sit here, and these come down like handlebars on a motorcycle, and you're zooming along. Whoa, it is Grand Central down here. All right, we're gonna head over to the starboard side where one of the submarines is located. It's no accident they're all yellow. That's for safety reasons. But of course, there is a story about a yellow submarine. This is Ringo, one of the 4 submarines. There are 2 here, George and Ringo. And on the Viking Octantis, you have John and Paul. They're all yellow, of course, just like the song. So we're pretty much in the center of the hangar on aft A deck. And what's very cool is how they actually launch everything. If you look up to the yellow grid, they hook things up there and open up the shell door and slide them out one by one, with the exception of the special ops boats, which have their own launching pad that goes out the stern. So this is the dive boat. This accompanies the submarines, and it goes out first, make sure the conditions are good, and then it helps bring the submarines off the ship, and off they go. On the Great Lakes expeditions, they can only put the submarine in Canadian waters, and of course certain ports are better than others. And in Antarctica, of course, it's much more free range, but not in the US. They can't use it in the US. We're still in the hangar area, but on deck 1, and this is the science lab. It's actually packed, but there's all sorts of experiments going on with microplastics, studying fish, studying biology. So come on in, but I won't say much because it's packed. Beautiful paintings by a Norwegian artist, Heidi Rudkeming, I believe. Anyway, we are now on deck 1, and this is the entrance to the restaurant. Now on the ocean ships, the restaurant is pretty much where you dine almost every night. On these ships, you need to make reservations. And we've been really lucky. We've been able to get about 4 nights here. We had our first night in here last night. We've got 3 more coming up. So this is the restaurant, again, very close to the sea. Windows right there, full length. And you can see, Mike, if you pan over, they're actually bringing out the kayaks with the Zodiacs here in Cape Breton, where we have a beautiful day with very little wind. So in the restaurant, full service meal, appetizers, soups, main course, desserts, etc. Wines are included, which is really, really nice because they're good wines. So now we're exiting the restaurant and going to another eatery. This is the private dining room, and it's also a great meeting room. But Manfredi's is the Italian restaurant. So Manfredi's is the Italian restaurant. Again, like the restaurant, you have to make reservations. It's an excellent dining venue. This is where they prepare the cold dishes. This is the forward part of the room. Follow me aft. Right. So they have an open kitchen here, so you can see your meal being prepared. And then the waiters bring it to you, of course. Different table settings in Manfredi's. And over here, for those who are really into the ship geek thing, there's a picture of Manfredi himself, who was actually the chairman of Silver Sea Cruises, and Tor Hagen, who is the chairman of Viking Cruises. They're good friends. Tor named Manfredi's after him. Before Royal Caribbean bought Silver Sea, there was a restaurant on all the Silver Sea ships called Tor's. So they exchanged this sort of goodwill between the two companies. Now, unfortunately, Silver Sea no longer has Tor's because they're owned by Royal Caribbean. Now we've just seen Manfredi's. We are on deck 1. We are going to move forward to the guest relations area. It's a very informal setting. It's not like a purser's office on a regular cruise ship. This is the A-deck area where you embark on the tenders and the special operations boat and all of the excellent expedition gear that's stored down there. And this is the starboard side of deck 1, where it's very much like where you go with guest relations, just a comfortable place to sit and watch the sea roll by from a very close proximity. All right, follow me up. We're going to go up to the top of the ship, and we're going to take the elevator this time. So we took the elevator to deck 5. Deck 6 is where the owner's suite and the other top suites are, the forward portion. So now we're midships, deck 6, top of the lobby. We are going outside to the top deck area, which is wonderful. It's broken up into little gardens and terraces, and it's freezing cold. So I'm going to make this quick. Hello. Lovely top deck with views, and of course the funnel, which is a lovely shape too. Nice big funnel, unlike a lot of ships which just have these little boxes stuck on the back of them. Come and take a look. Beautiful sunny day, but don't let it fool you, it's cold. Sitting areas, a lot of the things are stowed away because of the winds and when we go back out to sea tonight. And it's just too cold right now, but it's a beautiful deck area. And let's go back, Mike. Let's show this. On either side of the funnel casing, you have nice little seating areas Again, everything is stowed away at the moment, but this is a beautiful place to sit on a warm sea day or just on a warm day in port and enjoy yourself in the sun. So now we're midships deck 5. This is actually good timing with the World Cafe, but I'm going to take you around onto the port side. World Cafe is the buffet eatery, excellent food, and it's where we've been dining throughout most of the cruise for lunch and dinner. Follow me this way to the port side. This is Mamsen's. We're going to head forward just for a second to see the eatery named for Tor Hagen's mom. Mamsen's means mom in Norwegian. And this is where they serve Norwegian specialties for breakfast, and they have a tea time thing with Norwegian snacks as well. There's no food here, but this is the buffet setup. We're again in between meals, and this is where they make these gorgeous waffles. And even with the geitjost, which is the Norwegian cheese that tastes a little bit like peanut butter. And follow me up here for a sec, Mike. Hi. And there's a nice little gallery of seating here with booth style seats and skis, old Norwegian skis on the wall for a decorative touch that reflects the Norwegian theme. And we're going to spin around now. Turn around, Mike. Let me come up here, around you. This is Tor Hagen's mom, Mamsen, and in tow here is baby Karina Hagen, the voice of Viking on those TV commercials, the beautiful blonde lady who speaks so lovely and makes you want to take a Viking cruise. Now we're going to go into the World Cafe, which is divided into different sections. So come along here. Hey, you guys. This is the bakery, which is open almost all day from morning to night, and this is where you get great cookies and wonderful pies and baked goods. And the ice cream here, the gelato and the sorbet is made on board. It is excellent, and I've been eating far too much of it. Over here is where they make the breads, and over here is the pizzeria, which is not open at the moment. Really good pizza as well. Follow me aft on this side. Beautiful seating areas with a gorgeous view. This is the main buffet. You've got one on either side of the ship. And this is my daily haunt, an excellent salad bar, and they have a cheese selection here as well. And carry on aft. Okay. Hey you guys. We are now in the aft port side of the World Cafe, working our way back through the section that has a very Japanese-inspired decor for a very good reason. This is where they line up the seafood at night, and it's an incredible display. Crab, lobster, all sorts of shellfish, beautifully set up here. And over here is the sushi chef, and he's actually getting things prepared for dinner. All sorts of different types of sushi, and you've got your bowls down here so that you can get miso soup, and all the fixings go right here that go in with miso, tofu, and shaved scallions, and all sorts of things like that, soy sauce. And now we're going to work our way aft to the Aquavit terrace. So this is very cool, and I think it takes a lot of its inspiration from the winter garden that's on the ocean ships. You've got the grill over there that looks like the trees, and then you've got things in the ceiling that look like leaves. And this adjoins the World Cafe, so you can come out and eat here. But what's really cool is this indoor-outdoor pool area. And there's a Magrodome, which again is very similar to the Winter Garden, because the Magrodome opens over the pool area on the ocean ships. It's been closed on this trip because we've had cold weather. We're up in Canada, it's April. But here's the pool, which on warm itineraries, they open this kind of guillotine-like door, and you can swim from inside to outside in the pool. And the pool is called the Tepidarium because it's a warm, sort of a low warm temperature, not quite as hot as a jacuzzi, but definitely warmer than a normal swimming pool. So why don't you follow me around? We're going to go to the port side. I'm going to go back in on the inner part of the Aquavit terrace. All these very cool Scandinavian style furnishings. And we're going to go a little bit forward to another part of this whole eating complex in the World Cafe. Hey Alan, good to see you again. So you can refill your drinks here. There's fruit punch and pineapple juice and soft drinks, a coffee machine. But this is the grill, and this is a burger style eatery where you can order your burgers. They make everything fresh here. I get a chicken burger here. It's unbelievable. The piece of chicken is literally like this big. Great buns, and they got Dijon mustard and all of that set up here. So this whole area on the starboard side is the grill. So another nice thing about deck 5 is it has these promenades, which are great. They don't fully encircle, but they connect to the forward terrace on deck 4 where you can cross over, go back up the stairs, and then complete your promenade. That is facing forward, and you can see the promenade goes all the way up there, past the bridge, and up to where the Explorer's Lounge is, and comes all the way aft here. And this is the outer portion of the Aquavit terrace. There's a nice outdoor area. There's a stern terrace here. And in addition to the outer portion of the pool, there are 2 hot tubs on either side. So this is, again, a great place to be in warmer climes. And then come on over here, Mike. So from here, you've got a great view over the stern. And this is another terrace area. It's called the Finsa Terrace. Well, we are now at the far aft end of deck 3 at the entrance, the upper level entrance to the Aula, which is named for the Nobel Peace Prize place in Norway. This is where they have all of the presentations about sea life, and they have lectures, and it's a beautiful space, very comfortable seating, beautifully terraced, and on all 3 of these panels are Munch paintings that are in the actual aula. These are reproductions of the Munch paintings and various symbols about world peace and such. So you can see the double height windows on the port side, and then if you pan back over, that's a Munch painting, again reproduced from the Munch paintings that are in the actual aula in Norway. Beautiful room. Now we're on the deck 2 level of the aula, and I'm just going to take you outside so you can see the entrance to the aula, and then we're going to wrap all of this up on the Finsa terrace, okay? So here in the entryway, you can grab a tea, you can grab water, and you can sit here. This is sort of the ante room before you go in. And another cool thing is you can look down into the hangar at the gear. We are on aft deck 2 on the starboard side of the aula and working our way to the very, very stern. This is the Finsa terrace. It is a bit chilly today, so you don't see a lot of people out here, but on warm sunny days, this is a very popular spot. There's a rock garden, it's heated, and it's a lovely place to be. This is the fantail of the ship. So a lovely thing about this ship is you can go all the way to the tip of the forecastle, and you can go all the way to the fantail. Welcome to our Nordic balcony cabin. These are the most basic on the ship, and they're wonderful. 222 square feet. And before we actually go in, you can control the entryway with a green light that tells the cabin steward, who's excellent, Albert, it's okay to clean the cabin, and then the red light means no, don't come in, we're still sleeping or whatever. So Come on in, Mike. All right. So here's the bedding area. You can either have one queen or two twin beds. Each one has their own bedside cabinet. And what's very cool is you've got a European outlet, you've got an American outlet, you've got a regular USB port, and because Viking is on top of things, there's a Thunderbolt port as well for your iPhone 15 Pro, if that's what you have. Pan around here, there is another excellent thing in the morning when you don't feel like going up to get your coffee. You have an espresso coffee maker here and a selection of coffees with your coffee cups, and they even have real half and half, which is great. I love this. These are little peanuts and almonds that you can take on the excursions with you if you get a need for a nibble. I got low blood sugar. I get really cranky if I don't have something to eat when I need it, so love these. And you got milk chocolate as well, so that's very cool. A bottle opener is stored here, which is very handy because this is the mini bar. They stock it with soft drinks and tonic water, but we've asked for just plain club soda, which has been very nice. So we drink this throughout the day and enjoy it. Love our sitting area. We never use it because we pile all of our stuff here, but that's just the way it goes on these type of things. And we have binoculars, a pair for each of us that we can use throughout the cruise. Thank you, Viking. Very thoughtful as always. And they even have a few books that we can read if we didn't bring our own. And the books like this one, Philosophy for Polar Explorers. Very thoughtful selections, which are cool and interesting to read. Our desk, which is great. I use this to edit videos, to write. It's here for whatever you need. And for the ladies, or gentlemen if you like, you got a little area where you can have your makeup mirror and close up and do whatever you need to do with all your little gadgets and creams and things like that. Over here are the controls for the window, and then there's a master switch for the lights, which is really nice. This right here controls the window. So these Nordic balconies are pretty much like they have on the river boats as well, where you can open a window and you have access without taking up space for a pure balcony, which I really enjoy. In Antarctica, when it's 40 degrees, you probably don't want to open this very often. And today it's 40 degrees, so I'm going to close it. You can make yourself a cup of coffee while you're waiting for it to fully close. Come on, come on. So, and then of course when you're in port, next to a cruise terminal, you don't want everybody looking into your cabin. So this is very nice. The shade closes and it keeps the light out, which is great if you want to sleep in the morning. It's a wonderful way to not be woken by the sun. As you can see, there's a very nice large flat screen TV. We've enjoyed the past 10 days without any news, so it's been great. We'll probably find out that some of our favorite people died or something terrible happened, but it's really nice to escape the world. And if you don't want to, you can always watch your TV. Here are the closets. These are a little tricky actually, but they're well used as far as space is concerned. Small drawers, the safe, little racks for underwear, socks, etc., t-shirts, the main shirts there, and then another larger closet here, again with more space. And you can see we're not the neatest, but you know, it's been really good for us on this trip. This closet is very interesting, and this is only on the expedition ships with Viking. We're using it right now to store some clothing, but here are the life vests for the Zodiacs. And if you close this and take out all your regular stuff, when you come back from expeditions, if you're all wet, you just push a button and this will dry your garments. Very, very cool invention. Now let's have a look at the bathroom. Very nice. Full glass shower doors. The floors can be heated. That's a Viking tradition. And the controls for the heated floor are just to the left when you enter. Plenty of storage for toothbrushes, etc. Both of us travel with a lot of amenities, so we each have a drawer, we each have our own shelves. I'm going to do something which is going to be a little unusual, but this is really cool. That's it. No explosion of sound when you flush the toilets. It's really nice and very subtle. So in the middle of the night, you know, you don't have to wake up the entire ship. In the shower itself, really great water pressure, and the Freya amenities, which include conditioner, shampoo, body wash, and body lotion. These are high quality and very much appreciated, and we've been using a lot of them during this trip. And I think that's pretty much it. From the fantail of Viking Polaris, I'm Peter Kasheido. This has been filmed by Mike Messino, and we are now going to say goodbye, and Mike's going to give you a beautiful pan of the windows overlooking the Finse Terrace from the aula.